Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal Gothic Scream, Peter Joseph here, for a Saturday afternoon video, right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down below in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So do it now. I'll make you do it now. So subscribe to my channels, all down below. Leave a comment on the video, or any one of my videos on my respective channels from the past, now, and in the future, Conan, but don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Ozzy and Satan will just come out, laugh at you, and then eat your soul! So don't do that. Go do it somewhere else, because you're not going to do it online. If you don't like that, that's tough shit. Cry about it, bitch. And that's pretty much it. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you're SOL. You know what that means. Ha ha! If you don't know, now you know. And that's that. And also, follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you dare. And that's that. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab the tasty cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, then go watch somebody else. Simple as that. Simple as that, but some of you people just have no brain. And you need to get a life, and you need to get a brain, and just watch somebody else. Instead of watching me for God knows how many years you watched me for. But the good ones, you know, you can watch me. The other ones that are complete shit, go to hell and rot. And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday afternoon, May the 9th, 2026. We're about to hit the midpoint of May by next weekend, so gonna be a little bit chilly here. You know, today's a little bit chilly, overcast, on and off rain. Tomorrow's gonna be a little bit better for your Mother's Day, so be nice and take your mom out for Mother's Day. And all that other good stuff. Then a little bit more rain next week. But from what I looked at my my weather app, not this Monday, next Monday, oh, we getting hot! It's gonna be like 85 degrees, but it could change. But I looked at it like 85, 86 degrees. Woo! Sign me up. Sign me up. Go to the beach that day maybe, but it's a Monday, I know that, but take a nice little walk in the park. Maybe take a nice run, you know, go to the beach for a little bit. Come back, watch Monday Night Raw. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the warmer weather is coming, ladies and gentlemen. The unofficial start of summer, 16 days away. We're 2 weeks away from Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day. So the summer is fast approaching. Got another 6 weeks to go. A little under 6 weeks now to go before the summer officially starts. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a hot, boiling summer. Hopefully we don't get no hurricanes around my neck of the woods. And down south in Florida and Puerto Rico. But we'll see what happens with that. Because hurricane season is starting, I believe, in June. So, batten down the hatches down south and in the islands. Even in the Gulf of America. I mean, Mexico. Well, it's America, but, you know, whatever. And that's that. But wherever you may be today, hope you're having a great day. And if not, well, that's too bad for you. Hope you have a better day tomorrow. And don't forget, tomorrow, be nice to your mama. If not, your mama gonna slap ya. And that's pretty much it. Alright, on this overcast, rainy, Saturday afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. We got Backlash coming your way in a couple hours. So, not going to talk anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time on your Saturday afternoon right here on the Killer Demons channel. I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, sports, or anything else I feel like talking about. And if you like it, great. You know, fuck you, man. And that's that. Alright, on your Saturday afternoon, I got 2 videos coming your way. This one and my Backlash predictions on episode 112 of the Shadow Slayer 2.0 channel. That'll be coming up in a little bit. because I do gotta go out, because I will be out all rest of the night, most of the night, watching, I'll be, pretty much out with friends. I won't be back till, like, 11 o'clock, so, because I have a life, you motherfuckers, unlike certain people I know. So, I will be out with the missus, and some friends. We're gonna be chilling, having fun, not giving a fuck about anything else. And, just enjoying life and, living life to 100, well, to 90%, the other 10%, as DDP says, where we don't care. But, that's that. But, gonna have fun. You should too on your first official weekend of May, as we get into the midpoint of May, and eventually Memorial Day weekend. That's that. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, right now, everything I'm gonna tell you right now is gonna happen right now. But what happened then? You missed it. But when will it be now? Soon. Soon it'll be now if you watch Spaceballs. One of the greatest 80s movies ever. Can't wait for the sequel next year. Oh boy. The one-liners in that movie are gonna be, hopefully, maybe as better than the first one. But we'll see what happens with that. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late and out-of-date WWE Smackdown, or as I call it, Welp Down, because it's Welp. Your Smackdown review for last night, May the 8th, 2026, and boy was it mid. Horrible show last night. Horrible. We had the funeral for the Gingerbread Man. Led by Trick Willie Shamon, and we had a 6-woman tag team match. We had my girl Tiffany Stratton defend her Women's United States title against the resident accountant Kiana James. With my girl Julia at ringside, and a whole lot more on your 3-hour cure for insomnia. Though this show put you to sleep, and that's WWE SmackDown on the USA Network. We got that. Alright, so we are emanating from the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. That's a mouthful, that's what she said. And we are in Jacksonville, Florida. You know where Jacksonville is? That's AEW country. Nowhere, I think this arena is nowhere near Daly's place. But we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, our commentary team, as always, on Friday Night SmackDown. Man who cried last week, Joe Tessitore, and man who doesn't cry, and he's a good man from England, because there's not that many good people from England, and that's Bad News Wade Barrett. And Joe, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. The Gingerbread Man is dead. That's some bad news, pretty much. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Alright, so we start the show off. Nice touch by WWE. I'm glad they did this. I didn't really see it. They actually did it last night. Not last night, sorry. Thursday night with TNA. They mentioned Ted Turner a little bit, because he passed away on, I believe, Thursday. So, in memoriam to Ted Turner, nice touch. We're going to probably see it tonight. Probably see it Monday on Raw. Let's see. That was pretty damn nice with Billionaire Ted. AEW did it on Wednesday. I saw what happened Wednesday. I'm sorry, not Thursday. Wednesday. That was nice that Tony Schiavone came out and talked about Billionaire Ted. And shocking us all with, it's Sting! Sting coming out, mentioning Billionaire Ted. I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting the NWO days. Billionaire Ted, brother. But, nice little tribute to Ted Turner and TBS, and that's that. Speaking of another TBS, the team that used to be on TBS, the Braves, sadly lost former manager Bobby Cox today. So my thoughts and condolences go out to the Braves organization. Great coach, great manager, a couple of World Series titles under his belt. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. But not a great time if you're a fan of TBS, TNT, CNN. Because Ted Turner passed away, and if you're a Braves fan, your mighty coach, not now, but back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and early, pretty much up to the 2000s, pretty much, and beyond. I don't know when he retired, but anyway, Bobby Cox passed away, so sorry for you Braves fans out there. Not that there are many. JD's probably crying up a storm. Bastard he is. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so nice touch there by WWE in memoriam to Ted Turner. Alright, then we start the show of property with a long-as-fuck recap of the feud between Jacob Fatu, and our tribal chief. Put up your ones and acknowledge the man every day, 24/7, 365, twice on Sundays. Roman Reigns, our World Heavyweight Champion. So we got all that. Then we go to the arena and Jacob comes out for a little chitty chat. Mentions that at Backlash, or Backlash! Now I'm saying it like they mean it. Backlash! It's not even a good pay-per-view, but I digress. So Jacob says, I'm taking the title from you, Roman, at Backlash. He mentions, since we were kids, everyone's seen Roman as the future and him as nothing. Well, but anyway. Sucks to be the little cousin, don't it? Everyone's had it in for him, but it's been to protect Roman. And then the Usos come out. Jimmy and Jay, they come out and interrupt and say, hey, we aren't out here to change your mind. And Jimmy understands what Jake was going through. He needs this. But what happens if you lose Jacob? You ever thought about that? Because, Jacob's like, oh, I'm old gas, no brakes. I'm going to kick your ass. Yeah, You ever think about how you're going to get humbled tonight? Just saying. So Jay doesn't believe Jacob thinks like that. Because I've been there, Jay says. And he says, at Backlash, your family will be there, oh boy, to see him lose. Your wife and kids will have to acknowledge Roman. Oh, shit. We're going there. That doesn't work for Jacob because this isn't just a main event. This is about his family because they're going to see him win the belt. Nope. And he gives the Usos a warning. If you try to interfere, I'm going to burn the entire place down. Meaning, I guess, the WWE or their houses and shit like that. It's going to be really bad for the Usos. And that's pretty much it. Then he leaves. For now. And then that's it. Whether Jacob wins tonight, I highly doubt that. But, there's a smidge of a chance that he wins. I doubt it, because Roman is advertised for Clash in Italy. I think they're going to do the rematch there. Because I doubt they'll do anything for Saturday Night's main event, which is 2 weeks from today. And they have no build. So they got to build pretty much on Monday on the Raw. They got to build up to Saturday Night's main event, build up the Clash in Italy, and then after that, they got to build to Night of Champions, which Roman is not even on. And then after that, I think July is King of the Ring, I think. King Queen of the Ring. Or something in July before we get to SummerSlam, which Roman will be at, to defend against Oba? Maybe? Or somebody else. But I think we're getting towards Oba eventually. Because they had a thing with Seth Rollins, a little stare down. Are they going to do one more match? I don't know. Roman's, they were thinking about Walter, but they scrapped that. Stupid! This stupid for scrapping Walter and Roman. They are dumb for that. And Walter's taking on Cody at Clash in Italy. Ugh. Unless Walter wins, I'm happy, but I have a feeling Cody's gonna win. Oh, God, no. But we'll see. We'll see about that, but Roman right now, I think there's going to be some chicanery tonight. I think there'll be a rematch in Italy, and then Roman won't be seen till SummerSlam on pay-per-view wise. On Raw, we'll see him in June. A couple, maybe once or twice in June. And I think once in July. But that's how it is. I hope they give him more dates. Because having him twice in June is stupid. Not having him in Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia is even worse. I bet you nothing the Blood Prince is pissed. I want to have Roman Reigns. I want to give him my money. My blood money. Pretty much. I want him to ride camel. No. God forbid that. Yeah, Roman's too good to ride a camel. He rides his wife. Oh, yeah. Lucky man he is. We get that. Alright, so we'll see what happens with Jacob and Roman tomorrow, tonight, really. And that's pretty much it. Alright, 3 out of 5 stars for that. We move on. And we're off and running on Smackdown. Alright, then we're going to look back at Walter putting Cody to sleep last week. That's always nice. Then we go to Nicholas Aldis' office. Doesn't really like what Walter did. But absolute Vicky Starks, he comes in and interrupts. And then Matt fucking Cardona, woo, 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 you blew it. Shouldn't you be nursing your wife? But I digress. Matt fucking Cardona comes in, doesn't like Ricky. So, excuse me, they got a match coming up later. Woo! Not woo, 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 but like I care. Alright, so we got that. So I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. We go to break. We come right back, once again, with Nicholas Aldis. He shakes Jacob's hand. Jacob seems ready to leave in peace. And as he's leaving, he runs into his good buddy, Will Hobbs, or Royce Keys. Stupidest name in the world. Gives him a pep talk about winning the title, saying, you need to get inside your inner werewolf, win the title, werewolf up, stuff like that. So Jacob's like, you know what, that's right. I'll see you later. So Jacob leaves, and then Hobbs runs into Solo, me bookie. I think with Julio, or just Solo by himself. Solo tells him, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time last week when you saved, I forgot who he saved last week. I think it was Jacob. But anyway, and then Solo says, I need an answer from you, and I need it soon. Why not now? It's just not now, I guess, you know. Okay, Solo, you want to play Spaceballs? Go ahead. Soon would be now. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. I think Will Hobbs is going to turn tonight, and he's going to cost Jacob the match with Roman. A lot of people are like, no, it's too soon, he just started in WWE. I don't know. Hey, people are starting off faces and they turn heel like a month later. Big Show. Remember how many times Big Show turned face and heel in the span of a month? We're like, what? He's face. No, he's heel. No, he's face. No, he's heel again. Then he's heel for like 5 months. Make up your mind! What are we missing? That's what it is. But, you know, Hobbs is all face right now. And we got that. And we'll see what happens with that. Moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we finally get to a match for the United States title. For the Women's United States title, I should say. We got It's Tiffy time! Daddy! What? Did you see my match last night? Oh, your match was great last night. You showed that girl who's boss, Sunshine. I'm proud of you. Ah, Daddy. You gonna watch tonight? Backlash? I'm not on it, but you gonna watch anyway? Yeah, sure. Right. Here's my credit card. You go have a nice dinner or something with your guy over there. I thought you liked him. Nah, I like your other boyfriend, Ludwig. You know, Marcel, better. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye! Okay. Daddy does not approve of Tiffy's new boyfriend. I'm saying. Anyway, so Tiffany Stratton takes on the resident accountant, the lovely Kiana James, with Julia at ringside. We get a video from Chelsea Green, who's in bed, in pink, of course. Why not? Trying to show off to Tiffy. You know, Tiffy's like, oh yeah, you can hang out with me. Shit like that. But she had surgery on her I forgot what she had. I think it was on her leg. She's gonna be out for a while. Says, I can't be on the show tonight. I can't be at the show. But good luck. And the match itself was kind of, what it was. Got a basic headlock by Kiana James. A start, Tiffany comes right back with a clothesline. But she gets caught in the ropes. And a kick to head, ow, knocked her down. Then the leg gets wrapped around the ring post. And Tiffany's in trouble. So Kiana's kind of being smart. Using, going after the leg so Tiffany can't do the best moonsault ever. So anyway. We come back and she's still working on the leg. But Tiffany, gets out of that. And, Julia really didn't get involved much. I mean, she did near the end, but it kind of backfired. And eventually, Tiffany makes the comeback. And hits the prettiest moonsault ever. 1, 2, 3 to retain the Women's United States title. Decent match. Meh. So, I just think that, the whole union between Julia and Kiana James should end. It needs to end. Because I'm not feeling it. At all. Julia needs to do something else. But, Hunter's fucked that up. Twice, Hunter. Julia should just go back to NXT. I'm sorry. I don't think they're gonna release her. But, I mean, she was so red hot in NXT. Should have, won the NXT World title. Yeah, great. Then she, lost to Stephanie Verker. And then she goes up to the main roster, same with Stephanie. Actually, Stephanie had to drop the, what did she drop? She dropped the North American title, and then eventually dropped the NXT World title, I think, back to JC Jane. It was like, oh, okay. And Stephanie's doing okay on the main roster, former women's champion, now still kind of sort of in a feud with Liv again. Well, not again, but still in the feud with Liv. What's going to happen with that, I don't know. So we got that. And, yeah, we move on with that. Alright, so, all in all, match was kind of dull. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Tiffany retains over Kiana James, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to we go to the back, where we have the pre-funeral for the Gingerbread Man, Joy! And we see, this guy, Sami Zayn, who looks like the Gingerbread Man. He asked Nicholas Aldis, how are you letting this happen? I agree. This is kind of like 1991 Raw. Not even Raw. 1991 WWE with all this stupidity. Let's just bring out the Gators and have all the pets come out, like Frankie doing a bird and Matilda and Damien. I mean, what's next? Shit. Anyway, so Nick says everyone needs some closure. Sami is close to losing his freaking mind. It doesn't get better for him because this guy, R-Truth, comes up to him, gives him a flower, says, I'm sorry for your loss. He's trying to make Sami break character, and almost did. So Truth says, I can see the resemblance between you and the Gingerbread Man, who talked about Sami all the time. And Sami's like, oh, really? Really? Sami's like, he's about ready to break character. I don't know how he didn't break character. Unlike the time he said, he told Roman, Jay's not feeling very oozy. And everybody freaking broke character. Even Roman, I was like, damn, Roman was like, and everybody in the arena and on commentary knew that everybody broke character because of Sami. But it's hard to keep kayfabe every once in a while. It's hard to keep kayfabe, but it is what it is. So Sami's ready to either burst out in madness or just laugh and break kayfabe because this thing is ridiculous. But it does have a point. is this ridiculous? Having a funeral for an inanimate object. Or a schmuck that was dressed up as the Gingerbread Man. WWE booking is fantastic. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we got a video for Fatal Influence. That's Laney Reed, Fallon Doncore, the Don Henley, and JC Kane. Doing that 6-man tag team match with these people. Mommy Rhea Ripley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Alexa, Charlotte, and Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. They're in the back, they're ready to take them out. Charlotte and Mommy still don't like each other. And they're about to go at it, and Miss Bliss is like, calm down! And then Charlotte's like, I can't trust her. And then Mommy's like, yeah, shut up! You know, something like that. I'm like, we're gonna get Mommy and Charlotte eventually for the women's title. Not that I want to see it. Because God forbid Charlotte wins number 16. I'm sorry. We get that. Alright, so I gave the funeral part 2.25 out of 5 stars. And this women's segment, the same. We get that. Alright, once again, R-Truth is sad about the Gingerbread Man. We have Poppy Priest, Damian Priest, one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, along with him. He's getting ready for his match against Hikurio in a little bit. So, Truth wants to be out there with him, but Poppy's like, nope, you stay in the back, because you have a shoulder injury from what happened last week. And Truth's like, okay. But as we all know, when somebody tells you not to go out there to the ring, you go out there anyway. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Ray, when somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes. I couldn't help it. Fuck you, Ray. Don't be a Ray. Be a lemon, not a rosebud. No. But when somebody tells you not to do something, you do it anyway. Absolutely. That's just what our life is. I know, thank you. Go take a shower already. Moving on. That's that. So then we get to Hikuleo and Poppy Priest. Good match, actually. This is only a good match of the night. Solo's at ringside. So Poppy attacks him to start, but Hikuleo gets knocked to the floor. Poppy's spin kick gets sent into the ring post. Ow! Eesh, that had to hurt. There goes your shin for about 3 months. Poppy gets slammed onto the announcer's table, which didn't have a break. I am the table! You go to break, come right back. Hikuleo missed the elbow in the ring. Now it's Poppy to come back. He avoids a kick into the ropes. Now the spin kick to face connects. And then he takes out Solo. Top rope clothesline, gives him a near fall. But then, hey, what happened to this guy? Well, he's back. Tama Tonga, the wrestling gremlin. Yeah. He comes out for the distraction. Hikuleo hits a discus lariat for a near fall. Then R-Truth comes out to even the odds. Poppy's like, what are you doing out here? I told you not to come out here. And then he sends Solo into Tama Tonga, but then he got dropped by Hikuleo, who hits a chokeslam. 1, 2, 3. Hikuleo gets the win. So I guess a tag team title shot is looming for Hikuleo and Solo, or Hikuleo and Tama. I don't know, one of them are going to fight. We'll see what happens with that. Match was actually good. 3 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, a 3-on-2 beatdown happens, and then Will Hobbs comes out for the save. He stares the MFTs down, but nothing else happens. So, guess what? 6-man tag team match next week. Ha ha! Somebody call Teddy Long, player. You're gonna go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Pretty much. And that's that. Alright, then we're gonna recap of Mr. Danhausen. I will curse you. Getting beat down by The Miz and Kit Wilson last week. So, technically, he got cursed. So we see Mr. Danhausen sitting at a table trying to find his partner for Backlash against Miz and Kit Wilson, who come in and interrupt. They mock him, saying, "Hey, nobody gonna sign your little thing because you don't have any friends." And then Kit Wilson has a mirror, and he's like, "You're the only person that you would actually team with." And Mr. Danhausen like sees his reflection, like, "Ooh, good, they look good. Very evil, very nice, very evil." So that's that. They leave, and then Mr. Danhausen has an idea, even though he went the wrong way to leave. And then we see him, using his clone machine, which kind of backfired. I'm like, oh god. If it's Jelly Roll tonight, I'm going to be pissed. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be him. I want it to be Hobbs or Oba, somebody credible, not semi-fat as fuck Jelly Roll. Boring. I don't even think Backlash is gonna be that good tonight. That's why I'm not watching it till later. We got that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we see, my name is Paul Heyman, going into Nick Aldis' office. I wonder what that's gonna mean. We get that. And then we get a nice video for the Gingerbread Man being at various famous events like Hogan slamming Andre, various events. It was crazy. I'm like, how did they edit that in? That was pretty damn nice. Editing crew. That was nice. Alright, so then we go to Nick Aldis' office. Paul Heyman's there with a contract for this guy, Walter. He comes in. Heyman hands him the contract. Aldis says, "Welcome to Smackdown." But then they get interrupted by that schmuck, Cody. He goes to the ring, and Walter's like, "No, this is my time. Why, what is this? I didn't sign up for this. This is not how you welcome somebody to SmackDown," or whatever. So, he leaves in a huff, and Heyman's like, "I'll go handle this. Don't worry about it. I'll handle it. Don't worry." Okay. So we go to the ring, Cody comes out, "What do you want to talk about?" Because everybody knows him in Jacksonville. They hate him there, too. They don't like him. Some do, some really don't like him in Jacksonville. I think we all know why. So he wants to talk about Walter, and then Heyman comes out, says, "I have a solution in the form of this contract, but you have to be ready to fight right here." Cody's like, "Let's fight right here, right now." So Heyman's like, "That don't work for me, bro." Makes it abundantly clear that this contract is the favor, wow, I'm surprised they actually mentioned this, the favor that he owes Walter. Getting right to the point of that. Finally, we don't have to go 3 months. Like, what is the favor? So anyway, Heyman says, "I'm a big fan of yours, Cody." Right. He gets to the ring saying, "The title shot is for you and Walter on May the 31st in Italy, in Turin, Italy. Book Clash in Italy." He says, "By handing you this contract, Cody, my part is done as advocate or whatever. And Cody, Cody, you just need Walter to sign it himself." So so Heyman goes to leave. Cody stops him, asks if he's doing this because he's out of options. Heyman's like, "I'm not the one who's out of options because sooner or later, everybody is going to need the wise man." I'm like, oh, don't tell me Cody is going to be a Paul Heyman guy now when he turns heel. I'm like, no, I do not want to see that. That will be, no. I have a feeling Heyman's going to go back with Roman tonight. I have a funny feeling. Because, Heyman's like, never say never with the wise man, and Roman. Not that Roman needs him, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so Heyman goes to leave again. Walter jumps Cody from behind, but Cody is ready for him, knocks him to the floor, and then he gets on the mic saying, "I don't sweat you, G!" G? When did you... oh, yeah, Raheem. Okay, Raheem. "We're coming to America," What's next? You're gonna go outside your apartment and... "Thank you, neighbors! Hello, wake up now! Good morning, neighbors! Fuck you! Yes! Fuck you too! I love that part in that scene in that movie. That is funny. Fuck you too! I love to say that to my neighbors, but my neighborhood is pretty quiet, so. I like to go into New York at like 6 a.m. It's like, fuck you too! Then get my ass kicked, but that's another story for another time. Anyway. Blah, 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 blah. So Cody's like, I don't sweat you, G! I'm easy to find and hard to beat. Blah, blah, blah. I hope Walter puts him to sleep at Clash in Italy. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'd love for Walter to be the undisputed champion by the time we get to SummerSlam. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, moving on with that. And I gave that 3.25 out of 5 stars. Yeah, good segment. That's that. Alright, we're in the back. Tama and Solo argue again about what Will Hobbs coming out for the save. And Tama says, I'm going to go deal with him on my own. So it's like, Tama's like, Hikulio's like, he's going to go with him. And Solo's like, nope. You stay here. Because he needs to deal with this on his own. So, let Tama get his butt kicked. Yay! Great. Moving on. Alright, then we gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we go to Matt fucking Cardona taking on Absolute Ricky Starks. Wasn't a great match. 8.5 minutes. Back and forth they went. The reboot by Cardona gets a near fall. Ricky hits a spinning downward spiral. Nice for a near fall. But Cardona goes back with radio silence. Not that anybody saw it because the fans are like, yay, a fan got ejected! For what? I don't know. Probably fighting in the stands. What else is new? Or drunk. Anyway, Ricky pops back up with a tornado DDT into Rochambeau. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Ricky Starks' first win in WWE on the main roster. That's pretty damn nice. He had to beat Matt Boring Cardona in a little over 8.5 minutes. Match was kind of boring. 2.25 out of 5 stars. That's it. Booking 101. So, Ricky loses to Cody, and then he beats a schmuck like Matt Cardona. Great. And we move on. Alright, then we go to Sami Zayn. He's still at the funeral, rants about how he's losing everything. And he's talking to Johnny Gargano, who's on the table, and he's like, looks like he's dead. I'm like, what the hell? And then Candice LeRae comes in and is like, oh yeah, we gotta get out of here. And then Rey Fenix comes in, for all people, and Sammy can't believe that he's even there. Why would Rey Fenix be... I kind of agree. Why would Rey Fenix be there? He's just there. He's just there. He's the elephant disappeared. He just fucking disappeared. Pretty much. We got that. Alright, moving on from that. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we see the women's tag team champions, Brie Bella and Paige. They're walking, and then Mr. Danhausen quickly runs by. And then a ladder almost fell on Brie Bella's fucking head. And they're like, oh shit! And then Brie's like, ow! Like it really hit her. Maybe they're cursed now, I don't know. I hope so, but yeah, we'll see. Alright, 2 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get another Blake Monroe. Oh my. She's still on her way here. She's coming like Veer! But in a different way, you know what I mean? But just don't give me another 10 weeks of this. Please, don't make this another Emelina fucking thing. When she finally appears, says 2 words, left, bye-bye, she's gone from WWE, goes back to TNA, or where she went, I think she went back to TNA or Ring of Honor. Didn't do great there either. Now, her and, Riddick Moss, got married, having kids or whatever. I don't think we'll ever see them back in wrestling. Emma was okay in TNA, a little bit. Ring of Honor, she was decent, with Deonna Purrazzo teaming up with her. And then you had Madcap Moss, the guy that won the fuck fucking Andre the Giant Battle Royal. God, fuck. I know. Wait, did he win? I think he did win that. I know it was what's his name? Mojo Rawley won that one, and how pissed were we at that? I think Madcap Moss won that. Won an Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He won something. We were mad. I forget, but hey, he's banging Emma, so I mean, there's something good about that, I guess. We get that. Anyway, so then Bree and Paige come out. Bree talks about how there are a lot of teams coming for the titles, so bring it on. And Paige says, I've heard them referred to as a retirement tour. This whole thing's a retirement tour, but we're better than ever. And then Fatal Influence come out, say the champ should be worried about them, which one we don't know. Probably be Fallon and Lainey Reed. And JC's gonna go after Mommy and her title. So they're about to have all the gold, and then the Irresistible Forces, the former champions, the big, beautiful black ladies, Lash Legend, Dick Kick Gun, and Nia Jax. They come out and say, hey, this isn't NXT. And then we hear the fans chanting for Trick Willie, whoop that trick, and Lash is like, she's laughing it off. She's like, I know I got Trick. He's banging my pussy. Hey, she's with the champ, so pays to be the champ. Anyway, so they lay out basically everybody, except for Fatal Influence, and Fatal Influence are, okay. And then Mommy, Rhea Ripley, comes out, and her and Lash have a nice stare down. I'm like, ooh, sign me up for that. But, Jade's still hanging around. We'll get to her in a minute. But I'd love to have, maybe a Saturday Night's Main Event, you do Mommy versus Lash for the title. Not that Lash is going to win it, but it would be a good match. One big lady and Mommy. Mommy's not that big, but, we move on. Alright, so I get that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then the Gingerbread Man with more classic moments. You gotta love that. Alright, then we get to the 6-woman tag. Fatal Influence taking on Mommy, Charlotte, and Lexi. Long match. Not long. Just about 10 minutes. Get to the end. Lainey Reed hits a neck breaker on Mommy. Comes back with a big kick from the mat. That was kind of cool. Wasn't cool as Gordito, because spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool. So Charlotte gets a hot tag, tries off some chops, does the flare flip in the corner. Then gets a double high cross body, natural selection on JC for a near fall. Lexi comes back in, walks right into a super kick, as does Charlotte. And then the former women's champion, Jade Cargill, comes in, pulls Mommy off the apron, which allows JC to hit the rolling encore on poor Alexa Bliss, who fell like a deck of cards. 1, 2, 3, Fatal Influence gets another win. In a decent match, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, big old beatdown on Charlotte and pretty much everybody. Mommy tries to make the comeback, but then B-Fab and Mia Yim come in. I think B-Fab I don't know if she did, but she hit some move on Lexi. And I think Lexi, got knocked the fuck out. Because she was it looked like she hurt her neck or her head. And she was down for a minute. And then, after, Jade and company are celebrating, we see Lexi like this, grabbing her head. I think it was AJ Pereira, the female referee, getting her out. So I don't know if Lexi got hurt or just pretty much got knocked out. I don't know. But, yeah, I think that was a little bit of a botch by B-Fab. But it is what it is. Alright, then we're in the back. Will Hobbs is on his way to the ring. He's going to be taking on Tama. But he runs into the Usos. They talk about their history together. I don't even remember that. But okay, we'll go with that. They warn him to stay away from the MFTs or risk catching the eyes of Roman. I'm like, Will Hobbs and Roman? Even though Hobbs is on Smackdown? I could see a match with them. I could. Not that Will Hobbs is going to be Roman, but... Alright, move on. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. So then we get to Tama Tonga and Will Hobbs. I think for the first time ever. It was a decent match, under 8 minutes. Back and forth they went. They go, Solo is out there. Getting to the end, he tells Hikuleo to basically no wait, take that back. Yeah, he basically tells Hikuleo to let Tama figure out how to beat Will Hobbs on the outside. They go back in, and Hobbs hits the USB, the ultimate spine buster, on Tama. 1, 2, 3, stays undefeated. Match was kind of meh. 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. So, see what happens with Hobbs tonight, maybe next week on Smackdown, and that's it. Alright, then like I mentioned before, Mr. Danhausen goes to his lab, tries to clone a partner, or maybe himself or somebody, to be his partner at Backlash, and then the cloning machine kind of malfunctions. To be continued. So I assume it's going to be Joey Roll tonight. If it's anybody else, I'll be glad, but if it's Joey Roll, I don't give 2 fucks about it. Let me move on. Alright, then with the back, Tama is, nursing his wounds from the match with Hobbs. And then Shinsuke Nakamura comes up to him, basically saying the same thing. You need to get out of the MFTs, join up with me, and an eventual faction, whenever that's going to happen. I still think Evil's going to come up to the main roster. He's not going to be in NXT for long. I think he'll beat my cousin. I hate saying that, cuz, I'm sorry, but I think Evil, or, what's his name? Nakura? Not Naruto, but Nakura or Nakua, whatever it is. He's gonna probably beat Tony D, my cuz, for the NXT World title. And then eventually he goes up to the main roster, and then him and Shinsuke form a little tag team, and then eventually Tama Tonga, he comes in, maybe with Hiromu Takahashi. Though I think Hiromu Takahashi's gonna go to NXT, which sucks. You have a hot junior, multiple-time junior heavyweight champion and tag team champion, I think 6-man tag team champion, in Hiromu Takahashi, and you're gonna send him to NXT? What? I mean, it's like Evil going there. Like, why? He's former IWGP champ. Why is everybody going to NXT? Who gives a fuck about NXT at this point? I mean, seriously. I mean, yeah, Evil's coming over, great. And then all the guys from Evolve and WWE are coming up. I mean, you do need stars, but I mean, like I said, Evil's not going to be there that long in NXT, because he's going right to the main roster pretty much after. I don't know how long, maybe 6 months? Maybe 6 months, maybe more, but we'll see. But Hiromu coming into NXT, I mean, it's great. You can put him in the North American title picture, maybe the NXT title picture, but I'd rather him, debut on Smackdown as, one of Shinsuke's friends or something like that. Maybe bring back Daryl. I don't know. That would be fun. I miss Daryl. I think we all miss Daryl. If you don't know who Daryl is, watch a Hiromu Takahashi tape. You fuckers. That's that. Moving on. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Alright, then we get a Backlash rundown. Then the actual end of the show, the funeral for the Gingerbread Man. Trick comes out with a choir. He sings, "Somebody tell me why." That was great. I like that. And then Sammy comes out, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, shut up, Sammy. This and that. I'm not going to get to everything. He's like, what are we doing? I'm like, yeah, this segment is stupid. And, he goes to the ring, yells that I've been doing this for 20 years, I'm not leaving. He decks Trick, lays him out, shouts about how the title is his life, I mean, the U.S. title. And then, he's at the angle of the camera, shooting the casket. I'm like, yup, I smell an Undertaker-like spot where he just wakes up. And that's what happened. The Gingerbread Man rises from the dead, takes off his hood, and it's little Yachty who gets out of the casket and wallops Sammy with the candy cane shot. And then Trick lays Sammy out with the trick shot. Everybody's going berserk. I loved it. And then that's that, and your food is ready, by the way. And that was it. So, you know, people were saying, "Oh, this whole thing was like Sammy was gonna, Sammy was in the Gingerbread Man suit. It was gonna be like a turn or some shit." And now Little Yachty's a face, Trick is a face, stuff like that. It didn't have to go the Undertaker route, but now everybody's calling the Gingerbread Man the Ginger Taker. Rest in pieces. Pretty much, but it is what it is. So we'll see what happens tonight. I think Trick will retain tonight over Sammy. I think Little Yachty will get involved. There's no way Sammy's gonna get the belt back tonight. There is no way in hell. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, we move on with that. Alright, so SmackDown is over, and that's how it ends. But, like I said, SmackDown was really, really, really mid. It was just bad. And SmackDown's been bad for a while now. At least the last couple months has just been abysmal. And I think the 3-hour format is kind of hurting SmackDown. And I can't wait to in July when it goes back to 2 hours. I think it'll be better as a 2-hour show. I know Raw is about 2 hours, 15 minutes, sometimes 2.5 hours. I really wish they had a longer format, but, for Netflix purposes. But USA, yeah, you have to end at about 11 o'clock. Oh, we got Law and Order coming up next. Or whatever is up next. But, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, final rating for SmackDown this week, 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. That's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to do my Backlash predictions really quick. And then I'm going to get out of here. Because I do got to get out of here. I do got to go out. But I'll be back maybe later tonight with your NXT review over on my Peter Joseph channel. We'll talk about AEW, Dynamite, and Collision tomorrow. I might talk a little bit about Fairway to Hell tonight, which I don't know why they're doing it tonight, because, like, right at the tail end of Backlash. So, I know Darby's facing Pac for the world title. Nah, who cares? It's only like 3 matches. I'm like, waste of a show. So, I might do a small review for that on Sunday. But I'll do my main review, and then I'll do like a mini short review of Fairway to Hell on this channel, and I'll leave it at that. And then we'll talk about Backlash tomorrow night, and on the Peter Joseph channel. So that's pretty much it. So there's your little schedule for tonight, tomorrow. We'll get back on schedule for Monday for Raw. Should be a good show there, and we'll see what happens with that. That's the Aftermath show for Backlash. Roman's gonna be on the show. We all know that. So up until the 25th. And then he'd be at Clash in Italy, then we won't see him on TV until mid-June, I believe. And that's pretty much it. That's it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, peace!